Yeah.
There used to be carnivals.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in Town County, which is, you know, far more happy. So we have my kids go to the high school there, Victor, so, you know, everybody's very excited about that.
Awesome. Awesome.
One of my, as you can tell, I get Bradley, and one of my roommates is he went to Western Grove.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a huge Blues fan. You know, comes from the Blues getting into it a little bit.
Well, how can you not? I mean, you get swept up in
It's the greatest.
It's a sports town. So
Yeah.
I'm from DC originally, and you know, that was a fun surprise for us to find out how the sports are.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously the Capitals are picking up the big guys now. I don't know. I think St. Louis is way too.
DC's kind of a transient town, though. So you know, it's like some of the Florida teams. You know, there's so many out-of-staters and stuff. You
Yeah,
know.
so I think that you hit the nail on the head there. It definitely has to do with how transient it is. That's why people are, you know, if they're not doing well, then they're not going to support them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up there, and I remember my government class, they said there were people who were raised here, and out of 20, there were just 2 of us.
Right.
But the gal beat me next to me, she didn't even see that.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, right. We've got one guy from our high school. He used to play for the Blues. Not that famous name. Daniels. Not Joey.
Scott Daniels?
Zach Daniels.
Oh, Zach Daniels.
Zach Daniels, yeah. He played for the Blues and I guess you guys are way late till January or so.
In terms of
Playing hockey.
Yeah, and I don't do a ton with the club team or the Brewery Mustangs in town too.
Didn't Cam Jansen's grow up in St. Louis?
He did?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, he loves to hang around our new rink too. He's definitely, he's got his own little, you know, chat tat. You know, the chicklets.
Spitting Chicklets, yeah. Yeah, him and Kimball and all those guys,
So
yeah.
he's got that kind of pod as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always around there. He went to school about, it's more on the mountains there. But it's still St. Louis.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, the people that played for the Blues that grew up there, they all seem to be the ones that are the Blues.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think that's a fluke?
Well, a lot of ex-NHLers have stuck around there. Doesn't Basil McRae, all those guys live down
Yeah, no, they do.
there. Yeah, and they stay. They loved it, and they stayed.
I wonder if they just have a really nice network. They have the Blues alumni games.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah. Well, it was a great chance for them to not live in a cold climate,
Yeah, I know.
enjoy hockey in a community that likes it and it's growing. It's fantastic.
Celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. They want the attention.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I didn't know I was going to have to my geometry lesson. So Bradley has
We have a hockey
because I thought you were representing.
No. I'm here for the with the broadcast. Yeah, one of my roommates works for MSP TV, which does a lot here. He's from St. Paul, and got hooked up with him. He couldn't make it this year.
Well, you got lucky. The rig that we've been in over there at Fogarty, it's got to be the coolest one in town.
That's what everyone's saying. Yeah.
I think it warmed up by the time we got to the last game. We had the 8 a.m. and the 6 o'clock. And the 6 o'clock was warm. For the 8, you know, you could feel the radiating through your
I did 8 games the last 2 days, 8 games a day. And the first day I had forgotten how cold that rink was.
Yeah.
So I was dressed for snowmobiling yesterday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh?
8 games at that rink?
8 games each day, yeah. Yeah. It's good hockey though.
It is. You know, it's nice. It's nice to be in a place where appreciate women's hockey.
Yeah.
And someone's got all those high school teams.
I'm amazed how far it's come. I was telling them when they started the girls tournament like the 1990s. It was like Mike, they're all falling over the puck and everything, and there's a couple of really good girls who's like brothers play pro or something, you know, they grew up playing, you know. Yard? I'm showing mine.
All these MSPs
They're supposed to be. The frustrating part with us is every game we play with them. That's what, you know, I like the way they're guard.
Yeah. It's called hockey. Anything happens, you know? Anything could happen. Yeah. I like the jerseys on your truck. So it's nice.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into our broadcast, the final day of the 2020 Tradition Company's NIT tournament. I am Joey Wright, ready to bring you live coverage of this action on Madness Ring 2, the TCO Sports Garden. It's going to be the St. Louis Blues and MSP Gray. 16 action coming up for you here. Glad you're with us on this final day of the NIT tournament, and what a tournament it has been. Good matchup in store in front of us here. It's MSP Gray, and when you talk about the Minneapolis-St. Paul teams here this weekend, of course this tournament in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, they're the home team, and all those MSP teams, gray, black, white, it's such tough outs. Really talented bunches. Gray included among that. We are going to see some great hockey from them. And the St. Louis Blues U16 team, they are here all the way from St. Louis, as the name would imply. And national representation here at this tournament this weekend. It's been great hockey. Just about ready to close the tournament out. A couple of games left. And we're going to end on a high note, I think, with this one. Notice, as you can see, those uniforms closely resemble what the St. Louis Blues NHL club wears, and there is a little bit of an affiliation with the Blues here you see on the ice and the Blues you see in the NHL. They share some facilities. The Blues, the parent club, the NHL club, a great supporter of this St. Louis Blues U16 team. MSP Gray, they are in a Las Vegas Knights-esque gray uniform here, so Blues call it Knights, but it's the Blues and MSP Gray. Puck has been dropped, we're underway, and MSP Gray already settles into a defensive look here as St. Louis pushes it into the offensive zone. MSP Gray will shuffle it ahead. We go into the neutral zone. For the Blues here, Destiny Hoffman sends it ahead right in front of us. That's Courtney Benn. Benn sends it on net. For MSP Gray, that's Courtney Stagman with the save. In net for the Blues, Emily Green. Pardon me, Grieg in the net for the St. Louis Blues today. Emily Grieg and Courtney Stagman, and Stagman already the edge, one save, although no shots to Grieg. So we'll see how it all pans out here as MSP does advance it into the offensive zone. On net, the Blues will try to shovel it on out. Johnston, pardon me, behind the net. Good pass out in front, and the net came off its post. And that was a great look out in front for Shelby Furban. Class of 2022 fired one on net there. And that was dislodged to solo the face-off. Still in the MSP offensive zone here. Puck drop, 14-15 left to play. Al Peterson is our camera operator today. I want to thank him for his continued work. He's been helping us out all weekend long over at Fulton, Minnesota. So thanks to Al, who was right alongside. As he pans the camera down, we see it touched behind the net by Stagman. So Stagman comes out and plays it. MSP will set up an offensive look. Up along we go, shoveled in. 45. Vegas. MSP. Trying to bring it in. Those Vegas Knight style uniforms are forming for a loop all week long. Great looking kick. As it's out in front, a nice save by Green. Blues trying to reset. Slides over to Aiden Romerball. Romerball trying to chase here. It's 7 and Gray. Kaylee Prater from MSP shovels it on in. It's behind the Blues goal. Romerball first blew to it. Now it goes back to Morgan McGowan. Position such that Jeremy Silverpot is able to get back to it. Now goes back over to Romerball. Trying to pick the adjective for that as it's shot on goal, and that'll be a glove save. And a cover for Green. Shoveled ahead, I think, is what I was going to go with. Scoop was also a candidate. As we stop playing with 12:42 left here in the first of 3 periods. Let's see. Still scoreless. This is won by MSP. They kick it along the corner, and it's sent
writing along the boards, and St. Louis is going to win the battle to it. As we adjust our audio levels, apologies there. 12:15 to play here, first frame. As we've got you back now, MSP brings it into the defensive zone and icing as St. Louis shoveled it on ahead. So we'll get a face-off in the MSP offensive zone. 12:01 left to play in the first period. I'm Joey Wright. Al Peterson is on our camera. Thank you for sticking with us on the final day of the 2020 Tradition NIT tournament. It's been a great tournament with a lot of great competition from all around the nation. 12:01 to play as the puck is dropped. Face-off to MSP. Sent in behind the net. And Gray looking for its first real opportunity here of the day. But St. Louis is going to force it into the neutral zone. Great job as Juliana Gazdick shovels it back into the offensive zone towards the St. Louis net and heads up as that puck is going to hop over the glass. And unlike at a ball game, you don't get to keep the foul pucks. As the spectator who gets to it, they'll rest that along the bleachers, and I'm sure that'll be retrieved and returned to play here at some point. No netting along the sides here at Vadnais, the TCO Sports Garden. You'll see that at a lot of amateur rinks across the country. You'll see that netting extend all along the perimeter of the rink, with the exception of the bench area, but not the case here. And not really a huge problem, as everyone's angled such to where those pucks are seldom a factor. As another minute passes by, still scoreless early on. MSP Gray now trying to move it ahead. It's Emily Wendorf. Wendorf send it back and put on those 3D glasses as play comes towards us on the near side boards. Dislodged, and MSP might have a look at it here as it goes back, and a shot on goal. Loose puck and a cover. Good job from Grieg. And a nice look there from Madison Brown, MSP Gray. So MSP Gray and the Blues going after it here in the corner. And the Blues trying to guard their own net. There's a shot. Turned a little bit high. I think that was Grieg who deflected it there. Might have been a Blue defender as it's fired in. And the first MSP player towards it was Josie St. Martin. And Martin sends one high into the net. The wrong netting. The black one above the glass and not the white one behind the red iron. Face-off coming with 10:13 to play. St. Louis now near its own goal. They'll have to be careful here as it's sent back, neutral zone, and skating towards it, Grayson Limke. Limke shovels over and finds Kylie Ligday, pardon me. Along the glass, flipped in by Josie Hemp. And the first Blue to it is Bryn Carter. As MSP's going to have a look in front of the net, turned aside. Nice save from Grieg and a whistle blown. 9:39 to play in the first. And I think that net for the second time today has just dislodged itself ever so slightly. Hard to even tell from here, but of course anytime the net comes off its moorings, they've got to get it reset. Great play in the net, though, from Grieg. And Grieg especially, but both of our goaltenders have played well in the opening 5 minutes or so. 9:35 to play, period one. Tipped up. And along the far side board, the St. Louis Blues bench looks on. And some Good action here at center ice. Crosses back into the defensive zone for MSP, and they'll slow it down and set up an offense. 9:10 to play. Flipped in, tipped in, and giving it a look is Ellie Morrison. Morrison watches as the puck has slipped over to the near side boards. Play along the glass. Who's going to emerge with it? Looks like St. Louis had a stick on it, but it's still along the boards, and there's a slapper in. And a nice 5-hole cover from Grieg. Good shot on net. Good job closing the pads. And we're still scoreless as we encroach upon the halfway mark, period number 1. Kendra Destad there for MSP as St. Louis flips it up along the boards and it's sent back in. And St. Louis wins that battle towards the puck. They'll fight for it in the offensive zone here as St. Louis is quick to flip it back out. 8:10 to play. And MSP scooting it on in. It's Janessa Gazdick, who scored a goal yesterday over on rink 1, and it's flipped away. 7:55 to play, right behind the St. Louis goal. St. Louis's defense will do a good job of clearing it here as we go into the neutral zone. And an offensive look here for St. Louis. Let's see what they can do. Bringing it up was Courtney Ben. Ben had it poked free. And MSP moves it along the boards. And they might have a good offensive look here. It's going to be one-on-one. Moving it up is Estella Retram. And Retram flips it in and a glove save. Covered for the faceoff with 7:31 to play in 1 second. As soon as the puck is dropped, we will be halfway through our first frame of play. Still a scoreless game here in Vadnais Heights, Minnesota. Glad you're with us. MSP Gray and the St. Louis Blues. U16 matchup. We're locked in a good one early on. Hemp gets the faceoff, brings it in, and did that go in? Yes! Slipped under the pad of Grieg, and we'll see who scored it. I thought it slipped in off the stick of Kylie Ligday. Could have been, and I hate to speculate, could have been Emily Wendorf. In any case, MSP Gray has its first lead, and the first lead for anyone to this point, 1-0. Face-off won by MSP. Let's see if they can stack some together. And they move it in. They are aggressive off the face-off, attacking immediately. Grieg has played very well in the goal to this point. As a whistle is blown. And our first penalty coming up. See what the call is and who they'll send where. It's going to go against Johnston. Mara Johnston to the penalty box. Forward, class of 2022, high school junior. In the box for 2 minutes, and that'll be a 5-on-4 opportunity, a power play for MSP Gray. So we'll see what the Gray team from Minneapolis-St. Paul can manage. Face-off, and it's won by St. Louis. And both teams retreating. MSP doing a good job, although I believe that was a face-off for St. Louis and a bad pass. But in any case, MSP will take it. As they won the battle back. .6:45 to play. And folks, I think I confused myself a little bit there. Let's reset the situation. To be clear, it is a power play for MSP, and they have a face-off in the offensive zone. So that last sequence, not what they wanted. Good penalty killing from St. Louis. There we go. It's been a long weekend of hockey, folks, but lots of great action, and happy to bring this one to you on the final day of the tournament. Sent in, flipped away, and St. Louis, again, continues to do a good job of stifling this power play. Still early in it, about 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Mara Johnston on the bench. And as Johnston sits, MSP Gray advances. Josie Hemp brings it ahead. Hemp now behind the net. MSP looking to take a 2-0 lead with 6:15 to play in the first. Sent along, and it's Ella Borger Borger's going to send it in down low, sent in. Hemp shot, ricochets, still loose in front of the net. Who's going to come away with it? MSP will. They'll fire another one in, and that's off the pad of Grieg. MSP now sets it up at the point. It's, Hemp. Hemp sending it over, and a slapper is covered. Nice job from Grieg. 39 seconds left in the power play, or in the penalty kill if you're St. Louis. And 5:53 left in our first period of play. Grayson Limke is ready to go for MSP, and for St. Louis, we've got Anna Lug. And here we go. Limke for MSP. Now they tap it around, and it's sent down to Retram. And they're flipping it over now. It's Prater. Prater up top, playing catch, if you will, with Riley Reeves. Back to Reeves. Reeves over and looking. And it's Lauren O'Hara. Now back up to Reeves. No, pardon me. That's up to Prater. 22 in gray is Grayson Limke. 3 seconds left on the penalty kill. And both teams back at full strength. MSP couldn't get a shot off there late in the power play. Great killing from St. Louis. And there's a shot off the pad of Grieg. So we play on. Now that's rifled back, and that'll go back behind the goal for MSP. They'll bring it out, and they'll tap it up to Limke. Limke dealing with an aggressive play from Courtney Ben. A clean play, to be sure. Not the same. Aggressive and dirty. Aggression is what you want, and we've seen plenty of that here today. A good, clean game. 1-0 for Gray. And Gray being aggressive and trying to add to its lead off the pad. Did it slip in? No goal. They say no, it did not. Nice save from Grieg. Looked like it was maybe going to have a chance at slipping in under the pad, but it did not. And the net, so it did go in, but the net came off its mast again, and that's about the third time that that's happened in the first period. It's almost like the Owens Center in Peoria, Illinois. That net, or those nets, if you watch a game there, they are just sliding all over the place. You think they've got skates on. Third time we've seen it here. 4:30 to play in the first. This is a much nicer place to watch a game, I will say that. 4:25 as St. Louis looks for an offensive opportunity. They haven't had a ton of those here as of late. Sent back, Destiny Hoffman. And in for, MSP, Maya Kruger. As Johnston looks to push it ahead. Johnston pushes and finds Catalina Hiller. 12 in gray. Madison Brown as it's flipped high and over the goal. Digging down low. MSP still looking. And St. Louis trying to clear. 3:45. There's a shot just wide. And St. Louis will see if they can set up an offense in the neutral zone, crossing center ice and moving it ahead. 3 in blue, that's Sarah Morgan. Morgan pops it back. It's Catalina Hiller, and Hiller moving it up. Kept inside the blue line, and a shot coming in. That shot from Shelby Furbett. But it's MSP able to regain possession, bring it across the blue line, an onside look. And just wide of the net, the momentum carried Retram away from the goal. Could have been a good opportunity there for MSP. They lead 1-0 with 3 minutes to play. Period 1, battle along the boards. St. Louis is able to move it back to the middle of the ice. Flipped in, last touched by MSP, and MSP's offense will reset. Kylie Ligday starts it off, sends it ahead. That is Josie St. Martin, and St. Martin flips to Retram, who flips to Gettle, and the puck is now loose just inside the blue line. MSP keeps it onside. Here's a look. Can they center it up? Pass. Maybe it was a shot. In any case, deflected and into the netting. Also something we've seen a little bit of there on that side of the ice. 2:32 to play, period 1. And a 1-0 lead for MSP Gray. See what the Blues do. What level of aggression will they bring here? Face off. Won by MSP, and there's a shot towards the goal. Did it go in? I don't think it did, and it's a save for Greig. As the net, again, off its posts there. Yeah, something's amiss over there. That net, it's probably on its third or fourth shift by now. 2:25 to play. I believe that's the fourth time that's happened, third or fourth. As I said, 2:20 to play, and there's a shot. Greig makes the initial save. But it is a goal. 2-0 for MSP Gray. Looked like that was similar to what happened earlier, wherein it was kind of caught up initially and then just slipped in. And MSP Gray will lead it 2-0. Didn't catch who knocked that in, folks. Apologies, but MSP Gray will take it all the same. I believe it was Retram that tapped it in. 2-0 and 2:10 to play. So the Blues taking it up. I believe that's Hiller, and Hiller off the pad of Stagman. That was Courtney Ben on the shot. And MSP again bringing it ahead. 1:50 to play, period one. And up and along, MSP trying to take it ahead. It's Josie Hemp. Hemp in an onside look now. It's St. Martin, and St. Martin was trying to leave it for one of her teammates, but St. Louis scooped it up instead. 1:30 to play, 90 seconds, first frame, 2-0 lead for MSP Gray, and a chance maybe for St. Louis as they have an onside opportunity. But rooted away by MSP. And Minneapolis St. Paul sees an onside look now. 1:20 to play, they bring it towards the net. They pass it back, nice look for Prater, and Prater sends it in. Prater in and back to Gettle, and a whistle. And covered by Greig. Stops play with 1:11 left in the first period. Glad you're with us. Continuing live coverage of the final game that I will do. Still more action left to play after this. The final day, I will say, though, of the 2020 Tradition NIT tournament, and it has been a good one. Lots of great games. This one not an exception. Johnston centers it up, but it's intercepted. Pass was intercepted by Ellie Morrison. And sliding along the board. Now chipped in, chipped up. St. Louis will keep it onside for now. And Prater will retreat behind her own net and try to set up a new look for MSP, and MSP does have a lane. They take it into the neutral zone, brought in ahead. It's Morrison. Morrison looking for a lane, and it's intercepted by a Blue. Nice play from Taryn Sillenpaw. 25 seconds left. First period. And looks like a shot there from St. Louis was deflected off a defender. So the shot blocked, and here's a look for MSP. It's 1-on-3. It would have taken some incredible stick work for that one. And not that Wendorf doesn't have that, but it was just a very tough play to make. 8 seconds and 7 seconds. Now down to 5. MSP might get one more look on net. It's behind the net. And we'll have a whistle for an icing with a second and a half left. Now, folks, how this intermission will work, if you've been with us throughout the tournament, I believe this first intermission will only be about 60 seconds or so. Between the second and third periods, however, we'll have about a 10-minute break for ice making. So the second period coming right up, but first a face-off. 1.5 seconds left. The puck is touched. The clock is started. The clock stops. 2-0 after one, favoring MSP Gray. And I'm going to take just a brief break, but we'll get you back in just a few seconds, 1 minute to be exact. Second period coming up, but right now it's MSP Gray 2, St. Louis scoreless. The 2020 Tradition Company's NIT tournament continues.
good sport to announce. There's always something going on somewhere, you know.
Very fast paced.
Yeah. I was amazed at the baseball announcers. They gotta come up with crap to talk about.
That's probably the hardest one to do.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta have all that time.
Yep. Especially you got some of those pitchers that take 45 seconds before it's like,
Yeah, they're trying to speed it up.
good luck. And they're trying to speed it up. They keep adding pitches. You know? It's unreal.
All right. Did it get colder here in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't know if people noticed.
Minnesota weather.
No, for sure. That's impressive. I didn't even know maybe make the adjustment.
And then tomorrow, Johnson.
Got you back now. The second period in Vadnais Heights, Minnesota. 15 minutes to play, and we're underway. It's a 2-0 lead for MSP Gray, but it's been a pretty good one here. As the faceoff is controlled by MSP, and a quick shot on goal and a glove save. Nice save from Grieg. Glad to have you with us on the final day of the 2020 Tradition NIT tournament. I'm Joey Wright. Al Peterson to my right is on our camera today as MSP wins the faceoff. And there's a shot off the pads of Grieg. Shoveled ahead. And gloved by Stagman. Stagman 30 in gray and in the goal for MSP today. Pass was looking for Courtney Ben, 7 in blue, and couldn't quite catch up with it. So with 14:36 to play, we will have a face-off in the zone of St. Louis. St. Louis trailing by 2. And puck is dropped. Controlled preliminarily by MSP, and now it's going to be an opportunity for St. Louis as Ben intercepted a pass right in the middle of the ice there. Took it towards the net, and it was turned aside by Stagman. 14:10 here to play. And MSP moving it ahead. Kendra Distad in gray is tripped up. No call, nor should there have been. Under 14 minutes as they battle behind the St. Louis goal. And the St. Louis defense will do a good job getting in front of that and maybe mounting a charge here. They bring it up and ahead. It's Abby Barlocker sent in now, and it's behind the Minneapolis-St. Paul goal. MSP trying to reset an offense. As it's sent in and ahead, Lauren O'Hara flips it in. And Sillenpop brings it onside for St. Louis, but St. Louis was outnumbered. The MSP squad did a great job of getting back on defense. And now they've got it behind their own net. St. Louis still rooting around for it here behind the net and trying to create an opportunity. Still locked up, and now it's free behind the net. Slipped along the boards, and it will go into the neutral zone. So they'll fight for it here in middle ice. Now taken in and flipped along by Hemp. St. Louis again battling from behind its own goal. That's where they've spent a good bit of time here as MSP looks like they've controlled the puck for most of the game here. St. Louis has had a couple of chances, but MSP, when you look at the time of possession, I would infer that they would be in the lead in that particular statistic as it's brought in again here. MSP bringing it in. Grieg, a nice pad save. And the other net pops off for the first time today. It's typically been that one on the other end of the ice. That one is rooted free. And this is the number of games this rink has seen now this weekend is in the 20s now, so certainly probably a little bit of an issue with the ice over there, and that's a high-traffic area. Pretty good ice quality here throughout the weekend, but any rink, when you see this many games in this many days, it'll start to show a little wear and tear. Brought in and along, and St. Louis will control it along the boards behind their own goal. If you're curious, though, I think that's 5 times a net has popped off. Try to keep track of that throughout the afternoon here. And we'll get into the afternoon in about 6 minutes, 11:54 local time. Both squads will come out for line changes. And we'll have a face-off at center ice. And with 12:03, we're back underway here. St. Louis. Onside look, it's Furbit. Brought in and along. Pardon me, that's Sillenpaw. And Sillenpaw back, it's Anna Lug. Lug trying to flip it in. Now behind the net. MSP defense. Haven't seen them a ton here. See what they can do as they're rooting along for it. Down in that corner. Brought in and sticked away. I think that was Riley Reeves that got her stick on it and kind of knocked it away from Stagman and from the goal. Down to 11:15 in the second period here. Getting to a third of the way through it as MSP's got a chance. They've got a look. And a save. Nice save from Grieg. She's made a couple of nice ones throughout the morning here. .11:05 to play. Face-off won by MSP, and that is off the iron. Off the left iron relative to the camera, and the MSP offense resetting here. They keep it on sides. They send it down. Sent to the red line. And a whistle. .10:51, period 2. 2-0 our score, favoring MSP Gray, if you're just joining us. Call it number 6. Those nets, it's 5 or 6, and they're going to go with a more extensive fix this time. Looks like new stakes in the ice to try and keep them set. And as I said, this rink saw 8 games yesterday, 8 games the day before, and not quite 8 today, but when it's all said and done, looking at roughly 20 games on this rink alone in 3 days. Flipped in, off, just wide. .10:30, MSP offense trying to keep it on sides, but the St. Louis defense prevails, and they'll knock it at least into the neutral zone, and maybe a look for St. Louis coming up here as that puck ran into some snow along the boards, frees itself, and we keep marching. It's sent in, and a save from Grieg. Comes up again, and that was just towards her. Easy play to make, and we'll have a face-off in the MSP offensive zone. Face-off won by MSP, and the Las Vegas Golden Knights lookalikes will shovel it down along the boards there. Beautiful visual matchup here. You look at these uniforms, the blues, replicas of what the NHL St. Louis Blues will wear on a game day at home, and Las Vegas Golden Knights-esque uniforms here for MSP Gray. And a whistle blown, 9:43 to play. Obvious, not quite carbon copies of the Vegas Knights uniforms, of course, but some pretty obvious visual cues taken. I believe the Golden Knights are the only team in the NHL to wear gray, if I'm not mistaken. As it's brought in and along. And this could be a good chance for St. Louis. They bring it in, and it's sticked away. Lug brought it in. Hoffman now trying to clear. And she gets it in, and there's a shot on Stagman, and Stagman comes up with the save. With 9:17 to play, the clock stops. Blues looking for just one here, and if they can cut this lead in half, could make for an interesting close to the second period. They say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. And that's the position MSP Gray finds themselves in right here as it's sent back in. Sticked away by MSP, still loose. And Lug will take it up the court. The ice, pardon me, wrong sport for St. Louis. .852 and ticking. Furbit and Hiller watched it go, and icing against MSP Gray, so they'll bring it back ahead and reset it in the offensive zone of St. Louis. Stagman just moments ago saw a shot on goal right at her. St. Louis looking for more of the same here. Except this time they're looking to get it behind her, and a change in goal for MSP Gray. We'll see how that pans out. It's Alexa Backman, who we've seen throughout the week. She's in net. And St. Louis will bring it ahead. So Backman now in goal, and it's sent in wide, just off to the right, relative to the camera, but St. Louis keeps it onside, and they'll try to set up. And it's Sillenpaw trying to fight for it down there. And now a couple of players converge. 2 MSPs, 1 blue, 2 blues, I should say. And there was a look. Good pass right ahead of the net, but it was intercepted. And MSP Gray will use that as a catalyst to start a new possession. Bringing it ahead. I believe that was St. Martin. And they'll slide it along the blue line, and a shot coming in. And a glove save. Nice save from Grieg. So a face-off coming in the MSP offensive zone. A nice glove save from Grieg on a pretty good shot there. Good power on it. Just unfortunately aimed right at the goalie. Unfortunately, if you're an MSP supporter, and here it is along the boards. And MSP did a good job of battling that and getting it in front of the net. Turned aside by Grieg. And MSP forced to reset there. High right corner. And they'll send it in down low. Down low and across the ice. Now back up top, it's Ligday. Whistle, and that should be a penalty. And it will be. MSP had brought an extra attacker on and pulled Backman out. She'll come back now, obviously, and I completely missed that, but it was a 6-on-5 for a brief time. And that penalty sends Courtney Ben to the box for 2 minutes. So she'll be back with 5:21 left in the second period. MSP behind the net. And, oh, the net's going to come off, and that's probably good for St. Louis, as MSP had a look there. And I believe that's number 6 or 7. I've lost count. We'll just say that. It's been several times, though, that the net is popped off, and it's a quick fix every time. And in that case, it probably, as I said, helped St. Louis as it's sent wide, sent out. Good defense there down low. Hiller was down there, and I believe that was Morgan McGowan down there as well. So they did a nice job of scooping that out as MSP brings it up along the far side. 6:40 here to play. About a minute left in the penalty. Minute and 15. As Gray has it up top, Gazdick sending it down low and a save. Good look there on net by Madison Brown. Got it on goal, pardon me. Yes, Madison Brown on goal. .32 to play as St. Louis will get a new penalty kill unit on the ice. 1:11 left in the power play and 6:32 left in the second period. Puck is dropped back underway. Still 2-0 is our score. As it's popped up, and MSP battling a great shot out front from Lauren O'Hara. Now back behind the net. And Gettle will send it right. Now the Blues, will bring it ahead. 6 minutes even left in the final frame of action. Or the final frame of action before the intermission, the second period, I should say. It's, as I said, been a long weekend here, but a great game to cap it off. More games to follow, but not for me. 5:40 here as Gettle sends it ahead. Grayson Limke. Limke behind the net, pokes it back out. And MSP will look to attack the goal. Limke, shot from the right, deflected, and still loose in front of the net. Still loose and poked out. St. Louis defense comes up big. That's the final sequence of the power play as we're now back to a 5-on-5. And coming in for the Blues is Lug, pardon me. And put on your 3D glasses as it transpires right in front of us. Sent behind the MSP net, but MSP is right there. And Limke brings it onside for MSP. Minneapolis St. Paul trying to work it, and St. Louis forces it loose here. Could be numbers for St. Louis. Let's see. Chopped up. Sillenpaw sends it in. And it was not numbers. It was, if anything, numbers for MSP as their defensemen got back and got themselves into a good position. 4:20 here to play, period 2. Over and along, and good look here for Emily Wendorf. Four minutes here to play. Second period, 2-0 score. MSP will advance it, neutral zone, and here they go. Poked away. Nice play by Romerdahl, and Romerdahl will send it in off the pad of Backman. Uses the pads, gets him down, and 3:35 here, P2. Now 3.5 as it's a contested puck along the boards. Now MSP gets it back, sends it behind the net. And they slip it along that yellow border, bordering the bottom of the boards. Still contested here as neither side can get it out. St. Louis does, and that's going to set up a goal. St. Louis has found the goal for the first time this afternoon. It's 2-1 with 3:07 to play. A great pass to set that up. And St. Louis has made it a 1-goal game. Abby Barlocker, I believe, knocks it through for the St. Louis Blues. It's 2-1. And just like that, now they've found themselves in a position to conceivably tie it up maybe before the third period. Next 3 minutes and 7 seconds are going to be key. These teams are tired. They've had a full weekend of hockey during a year where game conditions tough to find at times. So what happens in these next 2 minutes and 55 seconds as St. Louis dumps it in behind its own net are going to determine what the moods are like going into an extended intermission of about 10 minutes while they sweep the ice and bring the ice resurfacer out. And when we get the third period started, the team with momentum can look to explode as there's a great save from Grieg. See how these teams approach the final 2:37. It'll be a much-needed and presumably well-received break between this next period and this one, I should say, is sent along the boards. Josie Hemp. Hemp sends it across. Kylie Ligday. Ligday in. And it's Ella Borger. Pad save. Good shot on net, or on goal, pardon me, from Kylie Ligday. And St. Louis will now control. Under 2 minutes to play in the frame. Neutral zone, and Ligday has it left side. Now Ligday brings it up. Crosses the blue line. And her shot repelled. Goes backwards a little bit. And perhaps a look for St. Louis, but the defense of MSP gets in there. They have numbers. Still could be a look as it's Hoffman trying to send it in. Sarah Morgan with her. McGowan watches the puck as Distad tries to advance it. Glove save as the play heads back towards the net. And I think that was McGowan that nearly crashed into it, but a nice save made by Grieg. So 1:21 to play here in the second period. Again, about a 10-minute break coming up between these two frames, the second and the third. So we'll take a break during that as well, but we'll have you back for the third period of action here in Vadnais Heights, Minnesota. 1:14 to play. Brought ahead to the point, now kicked in. Good look there. Off the pad of Grieg. Grayson Limke behind the net. There's a shot on. I believe it caught the iron. MSP will keep it onside. And there's another shot on. Pad save from Grieg. So MSP with some good looks here as we get set to wind down the second period. They've got it up top again. Deflected and into the net. Someone got in there and blocked it. Mass of bodies down there, whether it was a St. Louis defender or incidental contact from a Minneapolis St. Paul player. Tough to tell. Also tough to tell what path that shot would have been on had it not taken that deflection before it reached the net. Wound up in the netting, but not the netting that'll score you a goal. 40 seconds left here as St. Louis brings it ahead. And they get it into the offensive end. So this could be a chance for the Blues here as we get set to close things out. Sent in and along, and off. And MSP couldn't touch it there. They would have been offside. So 20 seconds left. The St. Louis offense trying to set something up. It's kicked off a skate. Morgan will bring it onside, and Morgan tried to send it towards the net, but it was off a skate. Now behind the net. I believe that's Limke with it. Nope, that is St. Martin. St. Martin with 5, 4, might have a chance. Onside look, she's going to wind up. Oh, a fake! And it's going to be a save off the glove of Grieg, and that's how the second period will end. Good look at the net there from Josie St. Martin. Brought it towards the goal, and a nice fake. Nearly allowed her to sneak it in. But Grieg comes up clutch, makes the save, and it's 2-1 after 2 periods of play here in Vadnais Heights, Minnesota. We'll take a brief break and get you back for the third period. And we expect it to be an entertaining third period at that. 2-1 our score. Can the Blues come back and win it? Find out after this. You're watching the 2020 Tradition NIT Tournament. Stay with us.
good third period.
It should be. I'm excited. I'm tired, but I'm excited.
Oh, I was just blasted. I was driving up here this morning. I was like, what the hell? So is Wags running over here this afternoon?
You what?
Is Wags running over here this afternoon?
Paul Randheim will be here, but he's going to take me to the airport.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, I probably won't see people
go over to the Blaine Athletics, or whatever they call it, the sports center, 8 rinks there.
Really?
Yeah, it's 2 pods of 4 with a connecting hallway kind of thing. Just unreal.
See real quick. Looks like try to level that camera out. Sorry about that there, but
Well, no. Good to go.
everything's a little off. Once the kids is on,
I know.
how far is MSP away from here?
It's a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flight leaves at 3, but I should have plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just go out, 35E over here, take it there and there right to the airport. Less than 10 minutes away, so it's all highway.
Yep. Airport's in Bloomington, isn't it?
If you're going 35E south, just west of where 35E cranks up, so. I saw one of the girls had number 44, Chris Pronger's number.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of my favorite defensemen, man. He was tough as nails. Did he? Oh, wow. Salary cap issues? Yeah. Was it a salary cap issue for the trade? Oh, well, there. Isn't that wild, man? He's gonna own that town, man. He's a god. Thornton, awesome.
Got you back now for the third and final period at MSP Gray and St. Louis Blues U16. It's 2-1 MSP Gray, and the faceoff goes to MSP, but St. Louis forces a quick turnover, and they'll battle for it here in the offensive zone of MSP. Now in the neutral zone. Joey Wright in with you, bringing you the conclusion to this one, and here's a little chance for MSP, slipping and falling. Had a little help was Ellie Morrison. MSP keeps it, they'll hold on. They'll fire one in off the pads. Still a loose puck. And they'll call it a goal for MSP. Slipped in under Grieg, under the pad. And MSP is going to take a 3-1 lead. And it's MSP off to the hot start in P3. We knew one of these teams was going to have to come out and explode to start the third, and it looks like it's MSP Gray with the upper hand in the early stages. .14-15, clock ticking down again in the offensive zone of MSP. They'll flip it along back behind the boards, and MSP trying to get something going. So it's MSP and Kylie Prater. Prater, top left nook. Now it's down low, and Madison Brown. Brown, it's loose. Loose in front of the net. And Emily Grieg, another great save. 3-1, but not for poor goalie play by any means, as MSP still controls it. MSP has controlled it in their zone quite a bit here, as they'll get a good chance. Grieg the save right at the pads, and She got him in a good position, deflected it away into the neutral zone. MSP will be the first to get there. Riley Reeves sends it back and sent ahead. And a collision there. Play along the boards. Down is Josie St. Martin. A little slow to get up. She's getting up there, away from the puck, and she'll kind of skate gingerly to the bench. They'll get a substitution in, and it's Lauren O'Hara as play is stopped. Save from Grieg, and you hope that Josie St. Martin is okay there. Skated unassisted to the bench, and she'll get looked at there. A tough play, and there was a St. Louis Blue that crashed into the board. Couldn't catch who that was in the moment. But it's going to be a physical third period. 12:58 left to play in it. And I'll say this as we have a chance for MSP. I'll say this now and again as we move through. No overtime in the NIT tournament. So you play 3 and your score, win, lose, or draw after 3 is where you finish. So the Blues are going to have to go quick if they want to have the chance to play for a win instead of perhaps for a draw. And if you were with us the other night, it was Little Caesars Gray, or Little Caesars and MSP Gray, as Grieg makes the save. Back that up. It was MSP Gray and Little Caesars 16U. MSP Gray had a 3-0 lead, or a 3-1 lead, I'll say, with about a minute left. Little Caesars tacked on 2 in the final minute and tied it. Down and in. Good stick work from Grieg. It's popped up. And it's Hemp for MSP. Watching it go back. MSP sends O'Hara back and flips it back to Ligday, and they'll advance it along. Maya Kruger. And if MSP can add on another goal, make it a 3-goal game, that would make it just that much tougher for St. Louis to battle back. So an important couple of minutes coming up here as St. Louis looks to cut into the deficit and MSP looks to add to the lead. In the neutral zone, still tied up, and a shot wide of the net for Minneapolis St. Paul. Couldn't catch who shot it. Behind the net, someone's going to come out with it. And it's Kendra Distad. Distad now traverses the ice. Finds Gazdick. And up and along, a chance for St. Louis. Courtney Ben. Ben. Shot wide off to the left side. Served, though, to dump it in. Did just that, and here's Gray. Gray and Lauren O'Hara. O'Hara back along. It's Grayson Limke. And Limke fires a shot in. Janessa Gazdick. Juliana Gazdick. And St. Louis up and along. Sarah Morgan touches it in for St. Louis. 10:40 to play here in the third. Morgan up and along. Skated in and dumped in. Icing the call with 10:21 to play. That extra second. 10:21 to play in the third, and a 3-1 game for MSP Gray over the St. Louis Blues. Glad you're with us. Joey Wright in with you as we continue to watch the action unfold in Vadnais. Vadnais Heights, the TCO Sports Garden. And gloved by Grieg, as I believe that was Morgan McGowan slid into the board. She'll be all right. Pop right back up. 10-12. P3. Face-off for MSP taken by Estella Retram, who I believe tacked one on earlier. She did. And MSP onside look. Save from Grieg. Loose puck. And McGowan gives chase for the Blues. 9:50 here, P3, as St. Louis will take it up along the far side boards. Could be an opportunity here. Anything's an opportunity at this stage of the game, and it's a shot turned wide from Anna Lube. 9:40, P3 is. We have a whistle, and we'll get a face-off in the St. Louis offensive zone, so they could have an opportunity here. We'll see who takes the face-off. A power play coming up, a 2-minute hooking penalty. Assessed to Morrison. So Morrison will be out until 7:40 to play in the third. We have 9:40 left. And Johnston, the face-off. It's Hoffman. Hoffman, right side. Sent down low to 71 in blue, over to 3. Sarah Morgan trying to center it up. A good look on the power play here early on. They go down low. They keep it with Sillenpaw. Now trying to go to Hoffman. And Hoffman had a look at it, but MSP roots it away, and they'll clear it down the ice. Grieg taps it with the stick. She'll try and set it up and realizes that she has to cover as she saw Estella Retram charging in. 1:20 to play. Or pardon me, 1:20 in the power play. 8:50 left in the third. St. Louis has it right in front of the MSP bench. MSP forces it loose, and they're going to send it up. Pass was intended for Madison Brown. .835 and ticking. Up goes St. Louis. Courtney Ben. And Ben has it sent behind. 8:25, clock continuing. Behind the St. Louis goal here, so they will clear it out. 35 seconds left of a player advantage for St. Louis. Brought in ahead, brought in, and it was intended for Catalina Hiller. Hiller still has it. She was able to corral it. And it's over to Morgan. Morgan looking for Sillenpaw. And Sillenpaw got it towards the net, but it was gloved aside. Furbett has it. Furbett looking. And Furbett charges ahead. 7:35 in the third. And sent in, or back away, I should probably clarify, by St. Louis. Trying to clear it away from their own net. Gray and Josie Hemp will try to possess it here. 7:15 to play. And ticking. Down, and it's Hemp. Seven minutes. Both teams have been at full strength here for a minute or so, and Gray will try to fire it in. Not quite. It's Maya Kruger on the shot. .635 as we move it along the boards. Josie Hemp. And now it's back in down, Lauren O'Hara. O'Hara. MSP looks for what would make it a 4-1 game. They're looking for that goal that might be enough insurance to get them through. 2-goal lead as it stands right now, 3-1 with 6:10 to play. Kept onside by MSP, and the pass was intended for Kendra Destad, but she couldn't corral it, and Hemp will watch it go off sides. She's got to chase it all the way back to the red line and behind the goal. See if St. Louis presses here. 5:40. And brought onside. It's been a pretty even period, I would say, although MSP has had some great chances as of late. St. Louis is going to need to force it into the offensive zone and try to create an opportunity sooner rather than later. An opportunity pass back now. Looked like that could have been a shot up front. They'll send it back, and a shot is wide. Behind the net now, battling for it. 9 and white is Wendorf, and it's jostled along. Still battling for it there on the elbow, and they'll bring it in. Looks like that's Gazdick on the shot, and she missed wide. Juliana Gazdick, to be sure. And that's Janessa Gazdick battling for it as St. Louis tries to, and now they will, root it away. Back behind the blue line, way back behind the blue line, and in fact, so far behind the blue line that will go for an icing. So 4:27 to play, third period. The 2020 Tradition NIT Tournament. Vadnais Heights, Minnesota, the site for this one. Gazdick flips to Gazdick. Juliana and Janessa. 4:15 to play. Sent in, and Grieg had to get the glove up, didn't need it, and there's a shot pad save, and the net is off. Great save from Grieg. A phenomenal save. As she went down, she knocked the net off a little bit there, and she'll keep it at a 2-goal game. I'd like to thank our entire crew under the lights media this weekend, helping to put on this presentation of the 2020 Tradition NIT Tournament. Not only this broadcast, but roughly 80 games this weekend. Quite the undertaking, and everyone involved has helped to make it a smashing success. 3:50 to play here. Also thanks to the viewers, especially the viewers of this one, who may see an entertaining finish as it's sent in, patted away. St. Louis the rebound. Now it's MSP controlling it, and they'll try to work it up and along the boards. Brought in, onside look. And wide of the net. MSP will recover. Behind it, now it's rooted away, and a nice stick from Ben. 3:15 to play, and we'll reset it for you. It's a 3-1 game. MSP Gray leading it. St. Louis looking for 2 goals that would force a draw. 3 would give them the win. And MSP Gray has been on the wrong side of those situations before this tournament, going back to Friday night against Little Caesars. .250 and ticking. St. Louis brings it along onside. It's a nice lead to Aiden Romerdahl. And now coming up forward is Shelby Furbett. Romerdahl watches as it's sent back. That's Hiller in the area for St. Louis. Romerdahl giving chase. Mara Johnston also pursuing as MSP is going to get a shot up. And a beautiful save. Lots of great saves from Grieg in this one. You look at the score, 3-1. She's let a few in, but a lot of spectacular saves. That one maybe not in the category of spectacular, but we go back to the one a few moments ago, the diving stop. Thing of beauty. 2:04 to play in the game. Time starting to dwindle for St. Louis. We'll see if Grieg gets pulled at any point here or how they like to play it. Certainly not in this situation as MSP is threatening. Kemp sends it in. Kemp keeps it in. And a glove and a face-off coming. 2:02, third period. Final game these teams will play this weekend. And a lot of these girls have played a lot of hockey over the past few days. Some much-needed rest on the other side of this minute 57, but first they'll try and win it. MSP in the driver's seat. 145, MSP out in front, deflected away by St. Louis. And now behind the net. They'll battle for it. It'll roll along the yellow border. MSP will try and center it up, loose in front of the net. And a slapper deflected by, you'd presume, a St. Louis player, but with how many people there were in that area, you wouldn't know. And it's 1:20 to play here. And 1:10. Flipped in by MSP. MSP looking for one more goal. They get a shot on, and it's a save from Grieg. Grieg, another save. Class of 2022. High school junior. Furbett down there for St. Louis. Lug is down there as well, as it's MSP. And O'Hara trying to bring it ahead. And now St. Louis will push. But MSP clears it behind the St. Louis net. 44 seconds to play. Now down to 35, still ticking. And 30. Up and along. MSP gets it back into the offensive zone. St. Louis quick to clear it here. But with 18 seconds left, it looks like MSP is in the driver's seat. 13 seconds left. Shot up, off the glass. 5 seconds left. One more shot on Grieg. She gets down, and they flop around. And that'll be a goal with a second left. On a great effort from MSP. A lot went on there in that sequence. And MSP tacks on one more with 1 second left to make it 4-1. And that is likely how our contest here will end. I believe that was O'Hara that scored that. 18 in gray. So MSP with a 4-1 lead, a second and 2/10 left. Referees discussing something with the St. Louis coach. And if you're St. Louis here, the Blues probably just a little frustrated with how this score will look and how the game will end, but they played a good game. Fighting some adversity, of course, fatigue, the biggest factor. And MSP, such a skilled team, a tough out for anybody. They will have earned this 4-1 mark, regardless. So they'll bring it out for the face-off. Puck will be dropped, and that'll end the game. As there's the drop, and there's the buzzer. And it's a 4-1 final score, MSP Gray over St. Louis Blues, U16. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the 2020 Tradition NIT Tournament. I'm Joey Wright. More hockey coming up for you throughout the day. I should say, as we've got more coming up on deck in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Again, your final score, MSP Gray 4, the St. Louis Blues 1.